Hey guys, SpinoDude here, and welcome back to another figure showcase made possible by the wonderful people at Safari Ltd for the #HowISafari campaign. Today we will be taking a look at another 2017 figure release, so without further ado, let's have our wonderful co-host Marvin bring it out. Thank you, Marvin. So today, guys, we are going to be taking a look at this. It is the brand new 2017 Safari Ltd Deinocheirus. Thank you once again to Safari Ltd for sending over this awesome new figure. I am really looking forward to taking a closer look at it in this video. So without further ado, let's dive into the review. Before we start taking a closer look at the figure, here are a few quick facts about Deinocheirus itself. Deinocheirus mirificus means terrible hand. It was a giant Ornithomimosaur that lived in the Cretaceous period of what is now Mongolia. Deinocheirus was originally only known from a pair of arms, a shoulder girdle, and a few ribs and vertebrae, making this dinosaur quite the mystery. More recently, however, two individuals have been discovered with partial postcranial remains including a skull. The skull was stolen by fossil poachers to sell on the black market, but after being recovered, it showed that Deinocheirus had spoonbill-like jaws. Another unique feature of the animal were the growths rising up from their backs, which are assumed to be either part of a heavily built sail or a fatty hump. The hump could have been used for thermal regulation and fat storage for surviving droughts and times when food was scarce, although these theories are still circulating. So without further ado, guys, let's start taking a closer look at this awesome, bizarre herbivore. So here is the 2017 Safari Ltd Deinocheirus. Let me just say, just looking at this figure sitting in front of me here, I love how fat it is. I just love it. It's so chubby and fluffy, and it makes me want to run up and just give it a big hug. Well, maybe not, those claws would be in the way, but seriously, I really like how thick this Deinocheirus is. It really feels like an appearance that a large animal like this would have. Now, I've seen many representations of Deinocheirus in some models, drawings, paintings, etc., but not one has caught my eye as much as Safari Ltd's Deinocheirus here. The colors, the detail, the pose, overall everything about it just comes together really nicely. The detail on this figure is absolutely fantastic. When I first saw the promotional images of this model online, it sort of looked like there wasn't a ton of detail on it, but my goodness, in person this Deinocheirus is beautiful. Even this video doesn't do it 100% justice. You really need to be holding the figure in hand to fully appreciate all the gorgeous detail put into it. I love how bird-like the feet look with all those beautiful scales. Same with the hands, and the claws are really nicely done in a black color as well. The feather detail is fantastic across the entire figure, and one thing that really impresses me is the direction, I guess you could say, of the feathers on different parts of the body. For example, on the forearms, I like how the feathers are sort of shaggy, hanging down from the wrists, where in the midsection of the animal they look as if they are tighter and closer to the body, flowing nicely across the back of the animal here. I also like this little plume of feathers on the tip of the tail. I think that is a very nice touch. The head sculpt is done really nicely on this figure. You can see the very bird-like design with the spoonbill-like jaws that Deinocheirus had, as well as the throat area, which is done in a pink color and is actually not feathered, similar to some modern-day birds. The nostrils are carved out on the tip of the snout, and the eyes are done really nicely with a ring of pink skin around them. Now, some people think this Deinocheirus is quite duck-like, and that is actually very true. It does look like a duck, especially in the head. I love when dinosaur designs are inspired by modern-day animals, especially birds, so that's probably why I love this model so much. Besides a duck, the color scheme and the thickness of the figure actually reminds me of a turkey or a chicken, so I guess it's confirmed that Deinocheirus is a turducken. The color scheme on this figure is done beautifully as well. It reminds me somewhat of the color scheme on this year's Spinosaurus model, but with feathers instead of scales. The orangey chestnut brown mixed with the white works really well. One thing that I love are these 5 stripes on the top of the animal here, which many people actually dislike because they say they look out of place. When you think about it though, there are lots of animals, especially birds, that have almost fake-looking color schemes, for lack of a better word, just because of how amazingly diverse their patterns and colors are. So I think these stripes fit very nicely with the realism of the figure. If they weren't there, I think it would just look so much more dull, I guess you could say. I also like how Safari Ltd does doesn't seem to be enlarging the feet of their figures too much for balance in their 2017 releases. Instead, they are showing how the long, stiff tail of this Deinocheirus here especially help the animal stay balanced when standing, walking, etc. Alright, so for my overall thoughts on this figure, the detail is fantastic, the color scheme is fantastic, the pose is fantastic, and for scientific accuracy, nothing really to be said. Now, I'm sure there's going to be a few of you out there who have your little personal nitpicks about it, which is fine, but I absolutely love this figure. Safari Ltd wanted to make a Deinocheirus, and in my opinion, they hit the nail right on the head. Big round of applause for you guys, you've done amazing work. So you're probably wondering just how big this figure is, so Marvin, bring out the ruler. Thank you, Marvin. Alright, we've got a trusty flexi ruler now, so let's give this Deinocheirus a measure. So in terms of the length from the tip of the snout all the way to the tip of the tail, we are looking at about 8 inches, and in terms of the height at the highest point, which is the top of the head here, we are looking at about 3.5 inches. For comparison, here is the 2017 Safari Ltd Deinocheirus next to the Safari Ltd Iguanodon. If you want to see the review for this figure, link will be down below in the description. Now, for some reason, I just really love the way these two figures look when displayed with each other, so I just thought I would share it with you guys. Make sure you go check out Safari's Iguanodon, it's an awesome figure to add to your collection. Next, for comparison, here is the Safari Ltd Deinocheirus next to the Safari Ltd Spinosaurus. If you want to see the review for this figure, link will be down below in the description. With these figures side by side, you can see what I meant about them having similar color schemes, although the Spinosaurus is a bit darker than the Deinocheirus. I like that they are similar but different at the same time because I think these brown colors go really nicely with the white. Make sure you guys go check out Safari's Spinosaurus, it's an awesome little sauropod figure. And finally, for comparison, here is the Safari Ltd Deinocheirus next to the recently reviewed Safari Ltd Deinocheirus. If you want to see the review for this figure, link will be down below in the description. These two beautiful herbivores are both 2017 releases from Safari. They are really nicely done, and I recommend adding them both to your collection. Make sure you guys go check out Safari's Deinocheirus. It's an absolutely beautiful ceratopsid figure. Well, there we go, guys. That was today's look at Safari Ltd's 2017 Deinocheirus. All I can say is that Safari wanted to make a Deinocheirus, they made it here, and they nailed it. This figure is absolutely gorgeous. I definitely recommend adding it to your collection, especially if you're a fan of obscure dinosaur species. So if you guys want to get this figure for yourself, be sure to go to www.safarilimited.com. This and their other 2017 models have just become available. And if you guys are interested in learning more about the #HowISafari campaign, be sure to go to their Facebook page and other social media. Well, anyway guys, I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like down below and subscribe to the channel. Also leave a comment telling me your opinion on this new model. So thank you so much guys for watching, and as always, I will see you in my next video. Take care and bye-bye.